I get into a car crash on my way to sign the divorce papers. I wake up remembering everyone except her. When Vivian starts yelling at Diana for not showing up at the hospital, she hears me ask, confused, who this Diana she keeps mentioning is. Vivian freezes. What do you mean? You do not know who Diana is? She stares as I shake my head, even more lost. Vivian springs out of her chair. She frantically hammers the call button. 10 minutes later, after the doctor finishes, there are no major physical injuries, but my brain has taken damage. I have lost a chunk of memory. Vivian turns to look at me. After a long pause, she finally squeezes out, how old are you? 23, Viv. How can you forget that? Vivian is stunned again. My memory has rolled back exactly 2 years. But the very next second, it hits her like a light bulb moment. Is this not the perfect chance to save her little brother? She clears her throat with exaggerated seriousness and warns me. That woman I just mentioned, Diana, she is a complete scumbag. Rotten to the core. If you ever run into her, stay as far away as possible, got it? I do not really understand, but I nod anyway. A few days later, I am finally discharged. Vivian takes me back to the Lee estate. I had been gone for 2 years and my memory has rewound by exactly 2 years, so I remember nothing. The moment I step out of the car, I run inside like I never left. I spot my mom watering flowers in the garden and throw my arms around her from behind. Mom, I am back! Why did you not come visit me? My mom already knows about my amnesia from Vivian. She had been reluctant to go out, but this morning she had forced herself to the garden anyway, her mind nowhere near the flowers in front of her. The housekeeper kept calling out, Ma'am, that is enough, you are going to drown them. Now the moment I wrap my arms around her, her eyes go red. She touches my head. Vivian did not tell me. Good boy, go inside first. Your favorite desserts are waiting. I answer happily and dash through the front door. My mom watches my back, something complicated stirring inside her. After a long moment, she turns and her voice drops cold. Erase Julian's hospital records. Do not let Diana find him. Best if they never see each other again, understood? Her boy is finally free from that scumbag, and he is back where he belongs as the Lee family's firstborn son. High above the city, on the 66th floor of Lay Corporation headquarters, the air in the CEO's office feels frozen solid, almost suffocating. Diana looks up at the assistant standing before her. Her voice is calm. Her eyes are calm. And yet somehow, they make your blood run cold. Are you telling me that after all this time you have found nothing? The assistant barely dares to breathe. Beads of sweat form at his temples. Yes, Ms. Lay, he seems to have vanished into thin air. Diana narrows her eyes. Do you think a person can just vanish into thin air? The assistant does not dare respond. He has found not a single trace of me. Keep looking. The assistant wipes his cold sweat and steps back. Diana is restless for no reason she can name. She stands, grabs her blazer from the rack, and heads home. The villa is just as silent. Diana vaguely remembers that on the rare night she came home early, the foyer used to glow with warm amber light and I would always be curled on the couch, waiting for her. Now there is nothing but darkness. She reaches for the light switch. The sudden brightness makes her flinch. She opens her eyes. The room is empty. No one to take her coat. No dinner waiting on the table. She presses a hand over her heart. It is the first time this place has ever felt this cold. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, I have been resting at home for nearly half a month, everything handed to me, nothing to do. I feel like I'm going stale. Vivian has cleaned up most of the loose ends by now. She cannot bear to keep me cooped up any longer. Why don't you go have some fun? My eyes light up. I immediately call my buddy Nathan. Nathan picks up and sounds surprised. Since when do you call me first? I am lounging in the garden rocking chair, feet up, soaking in the sun. Come hang out. Nathan finds this even stranger. Sure, we had stayed in touch over the past 2 years, but I had never once invited him out. It was always, I need to cook for Diana or something like that. Every other sentence, that woman. Nathan cautiously asks, where? A bar. You in? What surprises him is that I say yes without hesitation. Let's go. Nathan waits at the entrance. Before long, a black Maybach pulls up in front of him. I step out in full streetwear, spot Nathan by the door, hook a finger around my sunglasses, and flash him a grin. Hey. Nathan stands there frozen. Has Julian lost his mind? What happened to the devoted homebody who lived for that woman? This outfit is straight up here to pick up girls. You actually left the house? What happened? Nothing, Vivian pushed me out. Oh right, I forgot to tell you, I got hit by a car and lost 2 years of memory. Nathan stares at me, eyes wide, barely believing it. That explains everything. Then it hits him, this means Julian has forgotten that scumbag Diana. That is the best news he has heard all year. He throws an arm around my shoulders immediately. He could practically set off fireworks. Come on, I'm in a great mood tonight, I'm treating you. We walk in. The drum kit on stage sits empty, giving the place a hollow quiet. Nathan raises an eyebrow at me. Feel like playing a set? I will go dance. He pauses before walking off. You still remember how? I let a smile curl across my lips. I snap my fingers. Watch. When Diana walks into the bar, this is what she sees. Me on stage loose, free, and effortlessly cool, my hands flying across the drum kit with complete ease. Everything about me radiates wild, soaring pride. Diana stops dead in her tracks. The person beside her sees her expression turn to ice and follows her gaze and nearly chokes. Is that not? Diana's gaze is glacial. She had been searching for me for days and never expected to find me here. She turns and heads to the very important person booth, face cold as stone. The person hurries after her. Are you not going to go find him? He is not my husband, Diana says flatly, and besides, her cold eyes settle on me. I want to see what he is up to. They settle into the very important person booth. Diana keeps watching the stage. The person she sees feels like a stranger. For 2 years, I had been quiet and invisible around her. But right now, my face is alive with an expression she has never seen before. Diana throws her head back and drains her glass. On stage, I finish the set to a wave of applause. I smile and glance around. Nathan is locked in a close dance with some woman he is clearly occupied. I step off the stage. Nearby, a voice calls softly, "Hey, handsome." Not sure if it is meant for me, but I turn and look. The eye contact is too loaded, too forward. It makes me uncomfortable. I instinctively frown. I frown and say, "Can I help you?" Sophie studies me for a moment. "You look familiar." That is quite the opener. She does not follow it up right away, just knits her pretty brows, then suddenly claps her hands. "I just remembered who you are. You are from the Lee family, right? You must know Vivian." Sophie steps forward and hooks her arm through mine like she has known me for years. She steers me toward a private room. "I am Sophie Feng, Vivian's fake best friend. You really do not recognize me? I am not used to people touching me like this." I pull a face. I knock her hand off. "Even if you know Vivian, do not just grab people. Feisty, come have a drink with me." I am about to say no, but before I can react, Sophie has already pulled me inside the private room. I stay on guard. The next second, I see Sophie wave over 2 good-looking guys, one on each arm, draping herself between them. I watch her with cold eyes. My friend's name is also Sophie Feng. She hears me finally speak up. She waves the 2 guys away, props her hands on her knees, and raises an eyebrow. "Want to know more?" She pats the seat beside her. "Come here." My expression darkens instantly. I stand, towering over her. "Keep this up and I am leaving." Sophie laughs. She holds up her hands. "Fine, my bad. I will behave." Something must be going on with Vivian, but never mind. Sophie barely gets through 2 serious sentences before the door of the private room explodes open. I nearly jump out of my skin. I almost let out a stream of curses. Sophie frowns too, looking annoyed. "Who are you?" Standing in the doorway is a woman with striking features and a face so cold it could freeze over. A face so cold it could turn to ice, Diana Lay. She strides in, stops in front of me, red lips pressed tight. "You have got nerve, going dark on me for this long." Is she talking to me? Do I even know her? Diana's cold gaze lifts, passes over Sophie, and a flicker of contempt crosses her eyes. "Did not expect to find you putting on a show here." I am instantly annoyed. Who does she think she is? Bursting in and being passive-aggressive right out of the gate, and I do not even know her. Sophie keeps her brows tight, saying nothing. What could the all-powerful, young lady of the Lay family possibly have to do with her best friend's little brother? Diana's tone puts me on edge. My expression goes cold. "Excuse me, do I know you? Did your mother not teach you to be civil in public?" The moment the words leave my mouth, Sophie, who had been enjoying the show, bursts out laughing. Diana's expression drops several more degrees. She never expected me to speak to her like this. She swallows her rage. She steps forward and a strong hand clamps around my wrist. "Come with me." Now I am genuinely angry. "Are you serious right now?" Diana steps halt. She glances sideways at me, gives me a cool once-over. "Good performance, keep it up later." I am speechless, staring. Then Sophie, silent until now, speaks up. "Ms. Lay, you seem to be hurting my friend." Diana tugs at the corner of her mouth. "That is completely beside the point." "So, Ms. Feng, you are interested in a man like this?" I wrench my wrist free. "Where do you get off saying things like that? Who gave you the right to judge people?" Sensing things are about to spiral, Sophie quickly stands and pulls me to her side. "Diana, did you hear that? She does not know you." I roll my eyes at Diana. "So this is Diana Lay." Vivian's words come flooding back. Without thinking, I ask, "So you are the scumbag?" Diana looks almost stunned that I said that. I raise an eyebrow. As her face gets darker, my expression stays hollow, a smile with no warmth behind it. "There is no need to act like this. I genuinely do not know you. I was in a car accident. I lost my memory." Diana's brow furrows. She does not fully believe it at first, but then she thinks of how completely different I seem from before, and suddenly she almost can. Her gaze carries an icy probe. I meet it without flinching. Diana pulls herself together fast. Her voice comes out cold. "Good, easier this way. We go to the Civil Affairs Bureau tomorrow and finalize the divorce." Dead silence in the private room. I stay quiet for a beat. Then stiffly and in disbelief, I point at myself. "Me? Who else?" She clearly means Sophie. Sophie immediately lets out a sharp pfft. My mind is completely blown. Wait, I actually got married during those 2 years? Heart in my throat, I cautiously ask, "Do we have kids?" Diana does not answer. She just gives me a look cold, with a faint edge of contempt. Message received, no kids. Also, this marriage has not been a happy one. I have no idea how I spent those 2 years. But the me I remember is still the old me, spoiled rotten by the Lee family, afraid of nothing and no one, the kind who would curse out even Vivian when pushed too far. This woman in front of me has had a sour look since the moment we met. Fine by me. No kids is perfect. I will go to the Civil Affairs Bureau tomorrow. I meet her gaze, straight and steady. I agree. You can leave. Diana's eyes cool a few more degrees. I hope you keep your word. Then she turns and walks out without a second glance. I am still processing everything when Sophie speaks up. You were actually married? Wow, back to being a free man just like that. Miss Fang, I have got to go. I head out of the private room. I take a deep breath and push the whole evening aside. I call Nathan. I get his location. When I find Nathan, he is downing drinks like a king. I wave at him. Let's go. Nathan staggers to his feet. Already? Step in to steady him, jaw tight. Why did you not tell me that you were married? I thought you already knew. Vivian did not say anything. I cursed Vivian out silently. She called Diana a scumbag but forgot to mention I had actually married the woman. Nathan is too drunk to function, so I drag him back to the Lee estate. The moment we walk in, we see Vivian sitting on the sofa with a sour look, one leg crossed. She looks up at the sound. So you do know how to come home. Then she sees Nathan leaning on me, and she blinks. Why is he here too? Out of breath, I drop Nathan onto the sofa. His body slams right into Vivian. Vivian wrinkles her nose. She freezes, then slowly extends one finger and pushes Nathan's head to the other side. I go pour myself a large glass of water and drain it, ordering Vivian around at the same time. Take Nathan to the guest room. Before she can even respond, I spin around suddenly, my eyes cold. We are not done. I still have a bone to pick with you. She shuts up immediately. She turns and nudges Nathan with her foot. Hey, can you stand? Nathan does not respond. He is already half asleep, eyes shut. Vivian stands over him, looking down for a long moment. She finally lets out a long breath and helps him to the guest room. I stand there. After a moment it clicks. I rub my chin and smile. So in the 2 years I cannot remember, something has clearly happened between these two. I head back to my room, shower, and fall into bed. Just as I am about to fall asleep, I remember my old phone. After the accident I switched to a new one, but never threw the old one out. It is sitting in my drawer. I get up and dig it out. I open the photo album. My eyes lock on the last photo, a man and Diana locked in an embrace. I see red instantly. What a scumbag, cheating while married. The next morning I head straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau. Diana is already there, right on time. Look at that, punctual for once. Save the small talk, let's get this done. I walk in ahead of her without looking back. Diana watches my back, brow faintly creased. She had her assistant look into things last night, but no hospital has any record of my treatment. Not even the accident itself can be traced. She stands there for a moment. She ultimately decides to ignore the red flag and walks in after me. The paperwork goes fast. A short while later, we step back out. I stare at the green divorce booklet in my hand, speechless. I am still absorbing it all when Diana speaks up, cold and flat. When you get back, pack your things. That commanding tone, like it is second nature to her. I frown instinctively. Throw it all out. I do not want any of it. Diana's expression shifts slightly. She's about to say something when a warm, smooth male voice cuts through. I do not want any of it. Diana's expression shifts slightly. Throw it all out. Diana. Both Diana and I turn. A man in a pale blue shirt is walking toward us. He gets closer and gently drapes an arm around Diana's shoulders. All right, shall we go? Diana's expression softens visibly. Let's go. I watch in silence as Xavier cozies up beside her. Shameless, I mutter. I say it quietly, they do not catch the words, but they notice me. Xavier lets go of Diana and walks over. Julian, I heard you lost your memory. That is right. Xavier's smile deepens. He leans in close and murmurs, but she is still mine. He straightens up like nothing happened. You two take your time enjoying the view out here. I am heading out. And with that, I turn and leave. 2 years without working, I have to go back to my old workplace. I want to see if they are still hiring. As soon as I step inside, someone recognizes me. Julian Lee, you are back. I smile and nod. When I say I want to rejoin, my supervisor lights up. Perfect timing, we are hiring right now. And you know how it is, not many people apply for this kind of work. Obviously, it takes guts to be a mortician. Can I start the onboarding today? Of course. Just be aware there might be some gossip. I am not worried. My work will speak for itself. The talk will die out fast. I complete the paperwork on the spot. My supervisor gives me a new office. I spend the whole afternoon moving in, arms full of books. On my way back to the office with the last load, I notice the Hall of Honor on the wall. My name is on it. I look up at the photo, the version of me there still looks a little green. I cannot help but smile. By the time I finish settling in, the sky is getting dark. I stretch with tired satisfaction, grab my blazer from the hook, drape it over my arm, and amble out. Parked at the curb is a sleek, matte black Bugatti. I glance at it and look away. I am about to walk past when a respectful voice calls out, Sir! There is no one else around. That sir can only be for me. I frown slightly and see a man smiling at me. Sir, our employer would like a word with you. She's hoping you will join her at the family estate tonight. The car window slides down slowly. A woman's flawless profile comes into view. She looks at me with cool indifference, as if she were not the one asking a favor. I decide to have a little fun. First, do not call me sir. Second, if there is something to say, your employer can come out and say it herself. The assistant is caught off guard. He turns back toward Diana to relay this, but she has already stepped out of the car. Diana looks up at me with a sidelong glance. Quite the attitude now, isn't it? My eyes curve slightly. I glance at her, about to respond, but Diana speaks first. This is not about what I want, actually. Gran wants to see you. Seeing my confusion, she adds flatly, she's getting on in years. I have not told her about the divorce. She is very fond of you. Fine, I will go. Have your assistant move my car, otherwise I have no way to get to work tomorrow. Diana narrows her eyes. I hold her gaze. I know she will agree. Sure enough, Diana tilts her chin at the assistant. I let a small smile form and reach into my pocket for my keys. I toss them to the assistant. White Land Rover, thanks. Then I pull open the rear door of the Bugatti and fold myself inside. The assistant holds up the keys. Ms. Lay, go ahead. Diana's face and voice stay flat. Just then, I lean out and rattle off an address to the assistant. Obviously, I'm not foolish enough to give him the Lee estate, just my small apartment address. Done. I raise an eyebrow at Diana. Well? The window rises slowly and my face disappears behind it. Diana lets out a quiet laugh low in her chest. She settles into the driver's seat. I'm in a great mood, legs stretched out. On the way, Diana runs through what I used to do whenever I visited the Lay estate. I'm already tired of listening. I know how to respect elders. Diana is genuinely afraid I will slip up. The gap between the old me and the current me is enormous. But then she watches me jog up to Gran with the softest smile, calling out warmly, and she realizes she had been overthinking it entirely. I have Gran laughing within seconds. The old woman cannot hide how much she adores me. Julian, you have been away so long, have you forgotten about this old lady? Of course not, Gran, I have just been swamped. Gran flicks me lightly on the forehead. You and your excuses. There is fresh fruit, go have some. Dinner will be a while yet. On it. I reach for a piece when a sharp, pointed voice cuts in from nearby, laced with sarcasm. Coming home and eating without washing your hands, who raised you with habits like that? I pull my hand back and look over. A well-dressed woman descends the staircase slowly, eyes full of disdain. And I know instantly this is the one who never liked me, the one who pressured me to quit my job. I figure out who she is and give her a single nod, then turn to Gran with a warm smile. Gran, let me go wash up first. Diana watches me walk to the restroom, slightly thrown. She had expected me to be as cold to her mother as I am to her. Madame Lay does not like me, but she keeps face in front of Gran, so she only says mildly, washing hands is the right thing to do. I come back and act like Madame Lay simply does not exist. The entire time I talk only to Gran. Soon the housekeeper calls dinner. I help Gran to her seat and scan the table. My smile fades a little. I love spicy food, but everything on this table is so bland it barely qualifies as food. I manage a few bites and put my chopsticks down. Diana notices I have barely touched anything. She frowns but says nothing. Gran is the one who speaks up. Julian, why are you not eating? You always used to love the food here. My stomach drops a little. This is a headache. How far did the old me actually go for this woman? Praising a whole table of food I cannot stand? Being completely love-brained, that was me. I must have been a very convincing actor back then. I cannot really argue now, so I just smile. Just not that hungry today, Gran. No worries. Dinner wraps up. Diana and I get ready to leave. Gran is reluctant to let us go. Julian, you are the grandson-in-law I chose myself. If anyone gives you a hard time, you tell me. Gran will back you up. And if she ever loses you, that stubborn girl will have no one to blame but herself. She has lived long enough to see through everything. Some things cannot be faked. I do not say much. I just smile and nod. Gran, Diana treats me very well. I will come visit more often. Just as we are about to step out, Madame Lay comes from the side and calls Diana back. Stay, I need to talk to you. Diana has not even responded when I cut in. Then I will head out. Figuring her mother probably has something important to say, Diana gives up on leaving together and turns to me. Wait, it is late. I will have the driver take you. Works for me. I do not glance at Madame Lay once on my way out. After I leave, Madame Lay pulls Diana straight to her room. Away from everyone else, she stops holding back. Her contempt for me comes pouring out. He was even ruder today. Who raised him like that? Diana's brow twitches ever so slightly. Mom, what did you actually want to say to me? Madame Lay drops it. She fixes Diana with a cold look, turns and slams her phone down in front of her. I just saw this, take a look. Diana picks it up. Her brow locks tight. Several photos, all from that night at the bar, show me and Sophie together. Some are taken at awkward angles, making us look like we are genuinely very close. Diana's fingers tighten around the phone. Mom, it is a misunderstanding. The photos are right here, and you are telling me it is a misunderstanding? Before Madame Lay can say another word, Diana flips the phone face down on the table. Mom, we are already divorced. Madame Lay stares, too stunned to respond. Then she can barely contain her delight. Divorced? When did this happen? A few days ago. With that answer, Madame Lay lets go of the photo situation entirely. As for Diana, she had not given those photos much thought either. Until the next day, when it explodes onto the trending list. A wave of hate comments floods in, every single one aimed at me. Vivian is having breakfast when she does her usual morning scroll. This morning is no different. Coffee cup in one hand, phone in the other, then she sees the post. She nearly spits out her coffee. She calls Sophie immediately. What is going on between you and my brother? Even a rabbit does not eat the grass by its own burrow. You've got some nerve. Sophie is confused at first, but the moment she sees the photos online, everything clicks. She smirks. I have not done anything yet. What happens next, who knows? Vivian tears into her without mercy. You touch my brother and I will make your life miserable. Sophie laughs it off. Then she suddenly remembers something. Before hanging up, she drops it casually. I had no idea your brother was already married, and I really did not expect his wife to be Diana Leigh of all people. Vivian pauses. How do you know that? Sophie lets out a lazy yawn. Ran into them. Then she hangs up. Vivian comes straight to my room. I open my eyes slowly. What? Vivian shoves her phone right in my face. See for yourself. I go from half asleep to wide awake in seconds. The more I scroll, the colder my expression gets. By the last post, I'm about to lose it. Who posted this? Vivian's eyes go cold too. No idea, but it is clearly a targeted hit on you. Leave this to me. I lock the screen and look up, eyes perfectly calm. I will handle it myself. Vivian sees the certainty in my face and nods. All right, come find me if it gets out of hand. I am your sister. She heads out, then pauses at the door. And watch yourself around Sophie, she is not as harmless as she looks. Smile, then get up and start getting ready. I am brushing my teeth and running through a plan in my head when my phone rings again. It is my supervisor and he sounds stressed. Julian, do not come in for now. There are reporters blocking the entrance. He pauses, then asks, those photos online, they are not real, right? I am quiet for a few seconds. They are real, but it was just a misread angle. My supervisor goes quiet too. He does not quite know what to say. Finally, he settles on, just lay low for a few days. Understood. I will take care of it. Sorry for the trouble. I hang up. I look at myself in the mirror. My face is blank, my eyes still as a lake. I did not expect Diana to go this far just to move on faster and get with that man. She drags my name through the mud. Fine then, two can play at that game. I finish getting ready and go downstairs for breakfast like nothing happened, so calm it almost worries Vivian. Later that afternoon, I pull out my old phone, the one I had flipped through before. I upload a photo. A moment later, the post goes live. For the record, Diana Leigh, CEO of Leigh Corporation, and I are currently divorced. The person in those photos is my sister's close friend. What looked intimate was just a camera angle. For everyone's information, attached are several images, a divorce agreement showing I walked away with nothing, a divorce certificate, and last a very intimate photo of Diana and Xavier He. Within moments, the conversation online flips completely. At the same time, another post catches everyone's attention. My guy did not deserve any of this, getting smeared like that. The wording is playful and a little teasing, but it clearly says one thing: nothing happened between Sophie and me that night. Diana sees both posts. She notices the all-black profile picture, the completely empty account page with only one pinned post cutting ties. And that photo of her and Xavier tells the world exactly why we divorced. Diana's lips press into a hard line. Something tightens in her chest without warning. Just then, her assistant comes rushing in, flustered. Ms. Leigh, that deal we just locked in the other party just pulled out, and Leigh Corporation's stock has been falling. Diana's expression goes cold. Is the PR team on it? Everyone is in. The whole company is working to contain this. But Diana is visibly on edge. She's about to speak when the office door swings open again. Madame Leigh walks in on her heels, her expression furious. She slams her bag down on the table. Julian Leigh, no loyalty whatsoever. He drags Leigh Corporation into the center of a scandal. There are reporters circling the building right now. Since when do we have to sneak in and out of our own headquarters? And you, Diana, you are still defending someone like him? Tell him to take down those posts. Mom, I did not know about that photo. Thinking of Xavier's little stunt, Diana's expression cools another few degrees. Madame Leigh seems to piece it together as well. Her tone shifts immediately. She tries to explain for Xavier anyway. Xavier only did it because he loves you so much. Diana cuts her off, voice flat. Mom. The assistant steps in nervously, holding up his phone. Ms. Leigh, we cannot reach Julian at all. Diana's expression gets even worse. Madame Leigh flares up again. Who does he think he is? What if marrying you was part of some scheme? Just then Nathan calls me. He goes off on Diana first, then says, Tonight Vivian is taking me and Sophie out to dinner, celebrating your win, sending you the address now. I follow the address. Vivian and Nathan are already there. Nathan cannot sit still and asks right away, Why is Sophie not here yet? I still feel grateful to Sophie for backing me up online, so I keep it casual. Probably held up. Let's give her a minute. But more time passes and Sophie still does not show. Something feels off. Vivian, try calling her. Vivian dials Sophie's number. It rings for a long time before someone picks up. Whatever Sophie says, Vivian's face drops instantly. She hangs up and I ask, What happened? Vivian is already pulling on her jacket, moving fast. Hospital. Sophie's brother was in an accident. Nathan is on his feet the next second, pulling me still half confused out the door at full speed. The Fung family is complicated. I will explain on the way. In the car, Vivian drives. Nathan gives me the rundown on the Feng family. The Fengs are a strange bunch. From early on, they never liked Sophie. When her brother was born, the family poured everything into grooming him as their heir. Maybe because the favoritism ran so deep for so long, Sophie had never warmed up to her brother either. On top of that, Sophie's father has recently fallen ill, and the question of succession has been a constant fight. Her brother getting into an accident right now is the last thing anyone needs. We arrive at the hospital. The surgery light is still on. Sophie sits outside, hands laced together on her knees. Sophie, what happened? How did he get into an accident? A few seconds of silence. Sophie says quietly, he took my car out for a joyride and crashed. The moment she says it, all our hearts sink. Then the surgery light goes dark. The doctor steps out, removes his mask and shakes his head. We did everything we could. Everyone goes pale, especially Sophie. Her face drains of color. What happens when the Feng family arrives, I cannot say because I am called into the restoration room. This is my first case since coming back to work. And he is Sophie's brother. I give it everything I have. By the end, he looks almost exactly as he did in life. The colleagues who thought 2 years away would have dulled my skills go very quiet. When I see Sophie again, it is at the funeral hall. The Feng family is in tears, all except Sophie, who stands to one side in all black, face blank. Her mother is devastated, sobbing herself apart. She nearly faints from grief, then throws herself at Sophie and beats her with her fists. He was your brother! Sophie sways but does not make a sound. Her eyes hold nothing but bone-deep coldness and despair. Even Sophie's father comes, sick as he is, looking frail and pale, but when he sees Sophie standing there without a trace of emotion, the rage takes over. He slaps her hard across the face. You wretched girl, you even got rid of your own brother. How could you be so heartless? The investigation finds brake failure. Everyone assumes Sophie is responsible. Sophie does not move. She takes the hit clean. Her eyes fix on her father. I will say it one more time, this has nothing to do with me. Her father swings again. Sophie staggers. She raises a hand and wipes the blood from her lip. I cannot watch anymore. And after what Sophie did for me last time, I owe her. I step in and pull Sophie back and look her father dead in the eyes. Sir, remember where you are. This is a memorial park. I pull Sophie away. Vivian had been about to stop me, but I moved too fast. She walks over to Sophie's father instead. My brother was spoiled growing up. Please forgive him. Because of Sophie, Vivian has no patience for this family either. Sophie's father is flushed with anger, chest still heaving, but given who I am, he holds himself back. Meanwhile, I have Sophie under a tree nearby. I take a look at her face already starting to swell and frown. Why didn't you dodge? Sophie says nothing. I check her injury carefully. Something feels off, like someone is watching me. I glance around. My eyes land on Diana, standing not far away in a black dress, staring at us. Her expression is ice cold. But Diana is not alone. Beside her is Xavier, black suit on, arm around Diana's waist. Something cold and contemptuous rises in me. What I do not expect is that Xavier walks straight over to me. Julian, I have explained the photo situation to you before. I love Diana too much, that is all. I never meant for you to see it. He looks genuinely remorseful, eyes downcast, every inch the wounded innocent. I watch him with cold eyes. After a moment, I let my mouth curve. So what? I said it before, whatever was mine in that house, and Diana herself, I want none of it. I shift my gaze to Diana. I take in that cold, sunken expression of hers and shrug with complete indifference. I suddenly smile. Ever heard the saying, you get what you deserve? May you two last forever. Xavier's face shifts in an instant. Diana reaches over and lightly pats his back. Xavier looks a little wounded. Diana's expression stays cold. She has no interest in getting pulled into our exchange. She speaks only to Sophie. Feng Corporation is in your hands now. Looking forward to working together. Sophie's eyes go cold. Lei Corporation and Feng Corporation have always had deep business ties. Back when Sophie's brother ran things at Feng, he had constant friction with Diana, and Diana shows no mercy, so he always came out the worse for it. Now that Sophie is actually taking over, the internal chaos is already piling up, to say nothing of outside threats. If Lei Corporation decides to make a move against Feng right now, Sophie has no way to fight back. That thought makes Sophie's face even colder. I am not Xavier. I am not going to just worry about feelings. I think it through and say to Sophie, Vivian and I will have your back. Diana clearly realizes she still does not know who Vivian is. She is still turning that over when Sophie's whole expression shifts. Sophie reaches up and ruffles my hair. Then I'll take you up on that, little bro. The warmth in her voice is unmistakable. I blink, then figure she is probably doing it to get under Diana's skin. So I let it go. Diana watches it all, dark eyes as cold as everything else about her. Just as she turns to leave with Xavier, Xavier suddenly speaks to me again. Julian, next week is my aunt's birthday. I can invite a few friends. Would you do me the honor? Lei Corporation will definitely send my family an official invitation, so I do not need Xavier at all. But I'm not ready to let Diana know who I really am just yet. And I wanted to see what Xavier is actually plotting, so I smile with no warmth behind it and nod. Of course. The week passes fast. The night of Madame Lei's birthday banquet arrives. I do not go with Vivian, I drive myself. Tonight I am wearing a understated black casual suit. I carry myself with quiet power. The moment I walk in, eyes land on me from every direction. Whispers ripple around me. I do not react. Across the room, Xavier is smiling and chatting with Madame Lay when he spots me. A flash of something cold crosses his eyes, but he tucks it away fast and murmurs, "Aunt Lay, has Diana not arrived yet?" "Not yet, she had something at the office. Should not be long." Hearing that Diana is not here yet, Xavier relaxes slightly, then looks my way with a convincing look of confusion. "Aunt Lay, is that Julian? Did you send him an invitation?" Madame Lay follows his gaze and spots me. The pleasant look on her face vanishes. "What is Julian Lee doing here? I would never send him an invitation. He has no invitation. Did he sneak in?" "Aunt Lay," Madame Lay gives a cold, thin smile. "Xavier, go handle it, do whatever you see fit." "Understood." When I see Xavier heading toward me, I have just made eye contact with Vivian, who silently warns me not to start anything. I shrug it off and turn to find Xavier already here. "Julian, how exactly did you get in without an invitation? If you really wanted to come, you could have just asked me." My expression stays calm, a cold edge at the corner of my mouth. I'm about to respond when a hand lands on my shoulder from behind. "She came with me. Care to see my invitation?" I turn to find Sophie raising an eyebrow, looking at Xavier with a smile that is not quite a smile. Xavier's expression stiffens for just a moment. The air turns awkward. Then a cool, flat voice cuts through the silence like a blade. "Ms. Feng, quite impressive, pulling Feng Corporation back from the edge right under my nose." This week, Lei Corporation had gone at Feng from every angle. Diana had assumed Sophie was just a pampered daughter, but Sophie kept finding ways to rescue a company that should have gone under by now. Sophie wears a perfectly hollow smile. "Thank you for the compliment." Diana walks calmly to Xavier's side. Xavier immediately wraps an arm around her waist. I let out a quiet, cold scoff. Diana glances at me. I hold her gaze without flinching, direct and calm. Xavier speaks again. "Julian, I was out of line earlier. Please forgive me." I say nothing. Sophie has already let out a cold scoff and pulled me away. She leads me to the dining table and hands me a glass of champagne. "Getting into it with a man like that, aren't you worried about looking beneath yourself?" I take the glass but do not drink. Tonight's show is not over yet, trust me. Sophie clearly has no fear of whatever Xavier might pull. She just laughs. "Is he really still a threat to you?" I do not answer. After a while, Sophie drifts off to work the room, and Vivian is deep in conversation with someone else. I am bored. I slip out through the back door into the rear garden. The fountain catches the light, shimmering. A few guests who prefer the quiet are talking softly nearby. I sit down at the fountain's edge and pull out my phone. I am barely settled when Xavier appears. "Julian, why are you out here? No one else around now. Just say what you came to. Say." Xavier's smile fades. "You know what I am here for. Now that you are divorced, stay away from Diana." I stand up. I laugh so hard it almost hurts. "Are you serious right now? Something wrong with your head?" Xavier's expression shifts, then flips right back to that pathetic look. "Julian, it is all my fault. I should not have." He takes a step forward. I see exactly what he's going for. Something cold flickers behind my eyes. I curl my mouth with subtle contempt and shift just slightly to one side. Xavier, unable to stop his forward momentum, cannot pull his hand back in time and goes headfirst into the fountain with a massive splash. Xavier lets out a yell, barely keeping his face under control. He had been trying to send me in. The water is ice cold. The color drains from his face instantly. Everyone turns to look. Xavier, face ashen and shaking, voice trembling, calls out, "Julian, why did you push me?" I watch the whole thing with cold, detached eyes as if I'm watching a play with no plot. People hear the commotion and pour out to see. Diana takes one look at the scene and her face goes stone cold. She strides over to Xavier. As she reaches him, she hears that line from Xavier. Seeing Diana, Xavier, still pale, reaches out for her. Diana pulls him out of the freezing fountain and shoots me a cutting look. "Are you out of your mind?" She tosses it like she cannot believe what she is seeing, then hurries Xavier past me. I ignore the stares and finger-pointing and walk calmly back inside. I head straight to the main display console. Madame Lay blocks me, face sour. "What are you doing now? Haven't you caused enough of a scene?" I tune her out completely. I quietly connect my phone to the system. Madame Lay's expression darkens further. She is about to step in when Sophie appears from nowhere, all smiles, and steps in front of her. "Aunt Lay, just a moment." Xavier has changed his clothes and comes back down with Diana. He walks over to me looking hurt. "Julian, what did I do wrong?" I blink slowly. I press a finger to my lips. The real show is starting. Watch quietly. Then the main screen flickers and a video appears. Xavier freezes. The color drains from his face. On screen is the full footage captured moments ago at the fountain. Xavier reaching out to push someone but losing control of his own momentum and falling in himself. Every frame is crystal clear. You can see without any doubt that I never touched him. The room erupts. Xavier's expression goes beyond terrible. There are no words for it. Diana steps over to me and presses her hand down on mine. "Enough." "Enough?" I want to ask, compared to 2 years of shrinking myself and begging for her attention, how is this anywhere near enough? But before I can even say it, a wave of nausea hits me out of nowhere. I knock Diana's hand away and let out a loud, wrenching gag. I watch Diana instinctively step back and smirk. Ms. Lay, keep your distance. I am allergic to scumbags. Diana's gaze darkens. I draw a breath, just trying to steady myself when I hear Vivian's voice. She rushes over and grabs my arm. Julian, are you okay? Feeling all right? A bit nauseous, probably from looking at certain people. Beside me, Diana's brow goes cold. She steps forward. Julian, come here. Her hand does not even graze my hair before Vivian has already pulled me behind her. She looks at Diana without warmth. Ms. Lay, I suggest you keep back. Diana's eyes carry a thread of cold. Julian, I said come here. I look at Diana with open contempt. Diana, what makes you think I come when you call? We are divorced. Watch your tone when you speak to me. Diana calls my name again and again, but I stay right behind Vivian and do not move an inch. Something fierce ignites in Diana. Her face goes frost cold. We have barely been divorced, and already there's Sophie, then Vivian. I never knew you had it in you. When exactly did things start between you and Vivian? Her voice carries. The room is already watching, and everyone hears it. Xavier, who had been barely holding himself upright, staggers over to Diana's side. Diana, I brought this up with Julian myself just now. I found out that Julian and Vivian were seeing each other while you two were still married. I acted on impulse, trying to defend your honor. I watch Xavier with cold amusement. A person should at least maintain some self-respect. Do not offer your other cheek right after being slapped on the first. Julian, I did not want to say any of this, but whatever you do to me does not matter. You cannot keep hurting Diana. I walk right up to Xavier. My relationship with Vivian did not start during my marriage to Diana. It goes back much further to the day I was born, when Vivian and I were placed on the same family register. I let that land as casually as dropping a comment about the weather. The room goes completely silent. Everyone looks at each other. I fold my arms and stare Xavier down with contempt. Mister, here, you saying I cheated on my wife with my own sister? That line hits like a bomb. It stuns the entire room. A few bold young heirs in the crowd speak up. Mr. Lee, when you divorced Ms. Lay, did you walk away with anything? I keep my arms folded, gaze drifting past Xavier's bloodless face to settle on Diana's, which has gone below freezing. I speak without a trace of nerves. I have no interest in anything the Lay family has. And even if Ms. Lay had intended to give me something, I would not take it. Diana's expression drops even colder. Then Vivian pulls me back, eyes sharp as she turns to Xavier. Mr. He, what you have said tonight gives the Lee family more than enough grounds to sue you for defamation. But I refuse to let your name appear alongside my brother's in any legal filing. You are not worth it. So if you ever dare pull another stunt in front of my brother, do not blame the Lee family for being merciless. Vivian takes my arm and walks. The crowd parts without being asked. Long after we disappear, people are still exhaling slowly, like they are waking from a dream. Meanwhile, up at the second floor railing, Sophie is leaning over the banister, having watched the whole drama with great satisfaction. She pushes through the crowd after us. The banquet resumes. Xavier has his arm around Diana. His ear is still ringing. I did not mean for it to go like that. He led me into it. He must hate us so much he wanted to humiliate us in front of everyone, right? Diana's feelings are beyond complicated. Meanwhile, Vivian and I have just stepped out of the venue when we hear a voice behind us. Wait for me! Vivian turns, one arm around me, other hand raised to block whoever is coming. Sophie runs right into Vivian's hand and bounces back. She waves it off and looks at me, totally unbothered. You were amazing tonight. First time I have ever seen anyone get under Diana's skin like that and walk away clean. I give her a flat look. Do you have a grudge against Diana? You look so happy watching her lose it. Sophie laughs. No grudge before. After tonight, who knows? As she says it, those bright star-like eyes are fixed on me, gleaming. The gaze makes me uneasy. I shift under it. I tug at the corner of my mouth. Vivian, let's go. Before we get in, Sophie tries to squeeze into the car with us. I shut the door in her face before she can. She rubs her nose, tries again at the front, and gets shut down there too before finally giving up. The car moves smoothly toward the Lay estate. I prop my chin in my hand and look out the window. Back at the Lay estate, the air is heavier than it has ever been. In the living room, Diana and Xavier sit on the sofa. Madame Lay comes down the spiral staircase and sits across from them. Your grandmother has gone to bed. Now tell me, what is the story with Julian Lee? How did he end up as the Lee family heir? Are we being played? Diana's brow is heavy. Vivian is not that foolish. You cannot keep up a lie like that forever. The Lee family does have a firstborn son. Madame Lay's anger spikes, but she does not dare raise her voice and wait Gran. Then what is Julian playing at? Lay Corporation and Lee Corporation have always been rivals. He hid his identity to marry you. Is that not suspicious? What could he be after? Xavier jumps in to soothe Madame Lay. Aunt Lay, do not worry. Whatever he wanted, it does not matter anymore. Diana has already divorced him. He sounds reassuring on the surface and quietly pours fuel on every flame. Madame Lay is worked up even further now, going on about whether I had stolen some of Lay Corporation's confidential files. Diana sits with her brow slightly drawn, a dull pulse at her temples. Something feels like it is missing inside her. She is furious, and yet strangely hollow. Her thoughts are tangled. Her foot shifts almost on its own. She comes back to herself and finds Xavier watching her with concern. Diana, let's go. Let your mother get some rest. Madame Lay has been going on for a while now. Seeing Diana dazed and distant, she warns bitterly, "Watch yourself. That man is up to something." Diana is already irritated. "He lived here for 2 years. If he had been after something, he would have done it already. What exactly are you implying?" Xavier's expression flickers. He steps in to smooth things over. "Diana, try to understand tonight was not easy for your mother either." Diana does not push further. She leaves without another word. Outside the Lay estate, the car pulls up in front of Xavier's building. He hesitates. "Diana, I am alone at home tonight. Would you stay with me?" Diana sits in the driver's seat in silence. Does not speak, does not move. Xavier clenches his jaw and gets out alone. Madame Lay's birthday banquet becomes the talk of the city. Everyone now knows that the Lee family's firstborn son had been married to Diana Lay, and by the time the gossip spreads, we are already divorced. Rumors swirl, and here I am, living peacefully at home. I had been going out until dawn recently, so Vivian has put a strict no going out at night rule in place. I use the time to pick up an old skill. In my room I hold a small camera aimed at my desk, which is covered with open makeup products. I introduce each one what it is, what it does, then set the camera on its tripod, aimed at my face. Today I'm going to teach you SFX makeup, special effects makeup. You have probably seen it in movies and shows where actors appear to gain hundreds of pounds. I pick up a container of prosthetic skin clay, walk through the technique on camera, then slowly build up layers on my face and body, reshaping the structure, sculpting the look of a woman. Then I go through the makeup products one by one. I apply an ivory-toned foundation and work through the full look. By the end, a strikingly beautiful woman is looking back from the lens. After finishing the tutorial, I also walk through how to remove everything. These are skills I developed as a mortician core to the work, which is why a mortician's makeup skills can often surpass those of a professional artist. I finish everything and upload the video to my account. I had recently set up several short video accounts specifically for this. I recently signed up for a few short video accounts, usually sharing makeup tutorials, and occasionally some wellness tips. My idea is simple. I want to restore respect to this lonely profession, the mortician. The first step is to grow my reach. After posting a video, I curl up on the couch and fiddle with my phone. It's only been about 10 days, but since my early videos show dramatic before and after transformations, the numbers are great and the platform keeps promoting them. I already have over 100,000 followers. This growth rate has made several companies quietly reach out to me. By afternoon, I'm leaning on the couch, absorbed in an old book. It was compiled in the Song Dynasty, an ancient medical text called the Book of Myriad Remedies. I'm resting my chin in my hand, deep in the reading, when my phone rings. I pick it up, it's Nathan Huo. "Julian, tonight Jialan Club, we're working." I say lazily, "My sister won't let me out at night. If you want me, it'll have to be early." "Early? You're going to Jialan Club for breakfast at the crack of dawn? Why does Vivian have to be so controlling?" "Never mind her. I'll pick you up tonight. I've been cooped up at home for days. I'm mostly recovered now." I think it over. Life's been pretty dull lately. I could use a night out. Fine, don't bother picking me up. I'll sneak out myself. At 8:30 that evening, I have dinner with my mom and my sister, behaving as well as always, then head up to my second-floor bedroom to sleep. After all, I've been well-behaved for half a month, and my mom and sister suspect nothing. At 9 o'clock, from the second floor, I drop a rope ladder and climb down without a hitch. I slip out the back door, careful not to wake anyone, call a cab, and head straight for Jialan Club. I call a cab and head straight for Jialan Club. Half an hour later, I'm sitting beside Nathan, holding a glass of juice, my mouth twitching slightly. Nathan accidentally bumps my arm, the glass in my hand swings, and a full glass of red wine spills onto my shirt. I get up to clean off in the restroom, and a hostess follows me out. I turn and see Diana Lay walking over from not far away. She's here for business and had just stepped out to clear her head when she spots a tall man leading a hostess out of the restroom. That kind of thing is common enough at the club. Then the man's voice reaches her. "How do you even do this job, being this clumsy?" It hits Diana like a bolt of lightning. She swallows her anger, a mocking look crossing her face. "What are you doing?" "Honestly, I was just patting the hostess's shoulder, but now that Diana's shown up and she's picking a fight, I figure I might as well go all in." I wrap an arm right around the hostess's waist. "What else would I be doing here?" Diana stares at my hand, her voice sharp as ice shards. "Mr. Lee, your acting is first rate. I never noticed before that you had such a wild side. Your acting is First's waist a little pinch, smirking with pure arrogance. There's plenty you haven't noticed, considering your eyesight isn't great either." As I speak, I start to walk off with the hostess. Seeing this scumbag just makes my blood boil. She cost me 2 prime years of my life for nothing. The hostess is already scared stiff, and just follows obediently as I pull her along. As we pass by Diana, my wrist is suddenly gripped tight. I look up, Diana's holding on to me, her eyes cold as ice. "What did you two do in the restroom?" I frown, trying to shake her off, but her grip is iron tight. I narrow my eyes and turn to the hostess. "Go on back, wait for me." She hesitates, then goes. Once she's out of sight, I turn back to Diana. "I'll give you one chance, let go." She doesn't move an inch. I laugh coldly and stop struggling. Using the momentum of her own grip, I twist and slip past her in one motion, flipping her hand into mine instead, find the right angle, and with a clean, precise throw, put Diana flat on the ground, her vision blacking out for a moment. I dust off my hands and take a step to leave, when my ankle gets grabbed again. Diana laughs, furious past the point of anger. Reining in her rage, she says, "Not bad. You actually know how to fight." I raise an eyebrow and swing my leg, ready to land a strike on Diana's hand for good measure. But Diana's already braced for it and dodges, her movements sharp and quick, pinning me against the wall in one move, radiating an air of total command. I lower my eyes slightly, glancing sideways at Diana. Her face is inches from mine. "Still want to fight?" I grit my teeth in fury, narrow my eyes coldly, my mind racing. "You're hurting me." Diana's expression turns icy. She wants to see what trick I'm pulling now, but her grip loosens slightly on instinct. In that instant, I grab the vase off the sink counter and swing it down hard, though I still remember she's the CEO of Lay Corporation, so I miss the head and only hit her back. The moment it lands, I don't even look back. I bolt straight for the private room. I make it back safely. Jialan Club is in Qingcheng, but it's too close to the Lay family's turf, and now that I've taken her down, there could be trouble later. I wave off the hostesses in the room. "Everyone out." Then I turn to the one still trembling in the corner. "Come help me, get him into the car." She obediently helps prop up Nathan, who's already passed out, and follows me out of the club. It's the middle of the night now, neither of us drove here, and we can't even get a cab. Just as I'm getting anxious, a red Ferrari pulls up in front of us. Sophie Feng, one hand on the wheel, the other arm resting across the window. Well, aren't we fated to keep running into each other? I immediately signal the hostess to put Nathan in the back seat. She listens, quickly settling him in. I slide into the front passenger seat. Sophie glances at whoever's beside her. Once I'm seated, I turn to the hostess. Frowning slightly, Diana probably saw her face too. And if Diana can't find the one who attacked her, she might take it out on this girl instead. "You get in too." The hostess doesn't argue, climbing straight into the car. Sophie, sitting in the driver's seat, glares. "What is this, kidnapping the Huo family's heir?" I don't say a single word to Sophie the whole time, getting everything done efficiently, not even sparing her a glance. "Drive." Sophie's eyes catch a familiar figure chasing out of the club, and her mouth curls into a smirk. "Fine, split the ransom with me later." The red Ferrari speeds off. As we drive, I finally let out a breath of relief. Sophie slows down this time. "Little bro, you owe me a big favor after this one." I close my eyes to rest in the passenger seat, trying to settle my stomach. She was driving way too fast earlier, and I still haven't recovered, so I stay quiet. Sophie smirks. "If you want to pay me back, how about a late-night meal?" In the back seat, Nathan wakes up and throws up with a loud retch. Sophie completely loses it, shoving his head out the window. The hostess's voice comes out, wronged. "Too late." Sophie slams the brakes, the car jolting to a stop. She whips around to look at the back seat, at Nathan. "Oh my god, I have a cleanliness thing. You get him out of here." In the front seat, the sudden brake finally breaks my own control and I gag, hand over my mouth. Sophie stares at me in horror. "Little bro, hold it in." It takes me a while to settle down, the smell in the car sharp and awful. Sophie tosses a pack of wet wipes and tissues into the back. The hostess dutifully cleans up. We roll the windows down to air the car out, and by the end, nobody has an appetite for a late-night meal anymore. Resigned, Sophie drives Nathan back to the Huo estate first, then drops me off at home. As she leaves, putting on a fragile look. "Little bro, remember you owe me one." In the night wind outside, the Lai estate gate, the hostess and I just stare at each other, her eyes wide, sincere, and shining. I rub my forehead. "What's your name?" "I'm Mia Lu." "Why do you work as a hostess?" Mia looks flustered. "This is actually my first time. A classmate talked me into it, said it was just a drink and I'd make a month's living expenses." I frown. What a naive way to think. This Mia was lucky enough to fall into my and Nathan's hands. If she'd ended up with rougher, wilder customers, she might never have stayed this innocent. My voice turns sharper. "You're what, 20-something? Do you have any idea what could happen doing this? You don't know? What did your classmate even tell you? What's your last name? Which university are you at?" Mia panics, her big eyes welling up, tears forming. "Please, I had no other choice. I need the money. My sister's sick." My heart softens a little. I ask for her contact info and transfer her 10,000 yuan. "Find yourself somewhere to stay tonight. I'll reach out tomorrow and we'll talk then." Mia clutches her phone, her young heart clearly torn, glancing back again and again as she walks away. Once she's gone, I climb back up the rope ladder to my room, coil it up, and stash it under the bed. After washing up, I lie down, drowsy, when my phone buzzes a few times. I glance at it. An unknown number. I just power it off and go to sleep. The next day, after a busy morning and getting my videos posted, I remember my phone. 5 missed calls. That unknown number looks familiar, and worried it might be the funeral home, I call it back. A cold, clear woman's voice answers. It's Diana. Her voice is instantly recognizable, chilling even through the phone. I hang up immediately and without hesitation block her number. Thinking back to last night still makes my blood boil, but then I remember the girl I'd completely forgotten about. I did add her on WeChat last night, didn't I? I check, and sure enough, 2 messages are waiting. "Are you there? Mia has sent you 9,950 yuan. I frown, then reply, "I'm here, free at 2? Mia replies instantly, yes. I send her the address of a cafe I frequent. It's almost 1 already, so I get ready, tell my mom I'm heading out, and drive to the cafe. It's not far from the Lee Corporation building. By the time I arrive, Mia's already there, sitting a little nervously, her big eyes scanning the room. When she spots me, her eyes light up instantly, and she jumps to her feet. I can't help but laugh. This isn't boot camp, sit down. We both take our seats. I hold up my phone. The room money I sent you, why did you send it back? I found a small inn, 100 yuan a night, and I still had 50 yuan of my own. Thank you. I frown slightly. Qingcheng has developed so fast, it's a top-tier city now. I never imagined 100 yuan inn still existed here. Last night, in the dark, I hadn't gotten a good look at her, but today, in the bright sunlight streaming through the window, her delicate features stand out clearly. Standing just now, she looks nearly 5'7", the only flaw being how thin she is. I remember what she said last night. You said yesterday you took that job because of your sister. Tell me more. Mia lowers her head and tells me about her family. I like to think I have a heart of stone, but even I feel for her. The Liu family used to be well educated, but her parents died young. Her sister worked her way through school, had just become a professor at Qing University, when, for reasons unknown, she jumped from the tallest building on campus. She didn't die, but she's been left in a vegetative state, kept alive by medical equipment in the ICU, in the intensive care unit, costing several thousand yuan a day even after cutting every corner. Mia is still a junior in college. She sold off everything the Liu family owned and still ran out of options until a classmate introduced her to hostess work. After hearing all this, I think it over for a while. Did the hospital say where the injury is? A vegetative state usually means brain damage. Mia lowers her eyes, her voice sad. They said there's a blood clot in her brain. What happens next is uncertain. It could turn into brain death over time, but there's also a chance she wakes up. Nothing's clear yet. Something clicks in my mind. I look Mia over. You study photography, right? Would you like a part-time job? Mia clenches her hands quietly. Would you like a part-time job? She clenches her hands, gathering her courage. Are you trying to help me? My eyelid twitches. Not exactly, not for now. Mia lets out a breath, relieved, though a little disappointed too. Then what kind of job did you mean? I pull up my short video accounts on my phone. I've been making videos lately, running a few accounts, but I know nothing about photography. Sometimes the lighting is off and it doesn't show the real effect. Would you want to be my assistant? Mia nods firmly, without hesitation. I laugh. You're not even going to ask about the pay? You're a good person, I trust you. You trust people way too easily, but since you agree, come to my house tomorrow. A 3-day trial. If it works out, I'll cover your sister's hospital bills, plus give you 3,000 yuan a month for living expenses. Mia freezes for a second, then nods hard, clearly moved, then bites her lip and shakes her head. You might not realize, my sister's hospital bills run several thousand a day. I know, and any decent professional photographer wouldn't cost that much. Mia, everyone hits rock bottom sometimes. If you feel like you're in the dark, grab onto whatever hope you have. Don't worry about the details. If you think it's too much, then once your sister recovers, work for me for free for a few extra years. I smile gently. Mia clenches her hands, her knuckles turning white. Okay, you've given me a ray of light in my darkest moment, and it's not just a few years. If my sister really does recover, I'd work for you for free my whole life. We talk a while longer and I advance her 100,000 yuan for the hospital deposit. I send her the Lee family's address as well and get the room number of her sister's ward. Mia gets up. Julian, I'll head to class now. I'll be on time tomorrow. I wave her off with a smile. Go on. Once she's gone, I sit alone in the cafe and pull out my phone, quickly switching into another system. I get in touch with Dr. Lee, director of Qingcheng Hospital, right away. I heard you have a patient named Lu Anan. I'd like to see her medical file. The reply comes fast. Professor Smith, I'll send it right over. Then hesitantly, Professor Smith, do you have time recently? We've had several new doctors join, back from studying abroad. Would you have time to give a lecture? I type back, give it some time, I'm a bit busy right now. He quickly sends over an ANS file, along with a middle-aged meme. If you're busy, you must be working on some secret medical research, I get it. Since Dr. Lee's already made up a good excuse for me, I just hum in agreement and open an ANS file to look it over. The issue is troublesome, but not something I can't handle. I have a plan now. I close the file window and switch my phone back to the regular system. The afternoon sun feels pleasant and I stretch out. The TV in the cafe plays a news clip. The lead role will go to rising star Xavier He, paired with the wildly popular actress Han Ying. My grip on the coffee cup tightens, my brow furrowing. I look up at the TV, which is showing the lead couple's photos. My brow furrows further as I watch the promotional stills of the two leads on screen. I click my tongue. That pretentious act, playing the male lead. I've been seeing plenty of news about Xavier He lately. He used to be a nobody actor, then somehow got insanely lucky, adopted by a wealthy businessman in Jiangcheng, and instantly became the heir to a fortune. 3 years after being adopted, the tycoon died suddenly, and Xavier inherited millions, went abroad to polish his image, and came back with his career skyrocketing, now at the height of his rise. I narrow my eyes. The reason this guy's career keeps climbing is obvious. My ex-wife's been helping him behind the scenes. I lost my memory, and honestly, I had no intention of settling scores with these two lowlifes anymore. but casting Xavier He as the lead in my story just makes me sick. I pick up my phone and make a call. I'm not satisfied with the lead. Yes, he has to be replaced. Sunlight falls across my face through the glass and I'm distracted. We can't just replace him, then don't shoot the show at all. No wait, we'll swap him out, I'll do it right away. I laugh, turning polite. Good, I'll treat you to a meal sometime. Shh, and I still haven't even seen your real face. This politeness feels a bit fake. Sandra Lee is an award-winning director in her 40s, whom I met by chance online. We get along like old friends across generations, but we've never actually met in person. Years ago, I loved reading martial arts novels, but few good ones were being written anymore, so on a whim I decided to write my own. Within a few years, River Moon became a martial arts classic. Everyone assumes the author behind River Moon must be a man in his 40s or 50s, someone weathered by a hard life. I never wanted anyone to know my true identity, so I've never corrected that assumption. Besides Sandra, no one else in the world knows who I really am. At Star Moon Media, Xavier He has just finished an interview and walks back in, to find the director and the female lead sitting together, discussing something. He smiles and sits down beside Sandra. Director, Xavier hopes to get on her good side. Rumor has it Director Lee has a difficult temper, but given how many awards she wins, he's willing to put up with it. Sandra glances over, her tone flat. Mr. He, there's something you need to know. What is it? The lead actor might need to be replaced. Xavier shoots up out of his chair. What? He just finished a joyful interview, and now he's getting swapped out. Isn't this a total slap in the face? Why? It's the author's request. Xavier's expression turns heated. The author? That non-Chu he actually gets a say in casting? Sandra never liked Xavier He to begin with. But Light Corporation is the show's biggest financier, and Light Corporation had recommended Xavier for the role, so she'd only reluctantly agreed at the time. Now that she can swap him out, she feels a wave of relief. Non-Chu is our creative partner. He says if we don't recast the lead, he'll pull out of the deal, the rights won't be settled, and then the whole show won't even get made. Compared to that, even if Light Corporation pulls its funding, the lead has to be recast. Xavier is furious. The whole internet's already announced it. Are you trying to humiliate me on purpose? But his protests are useless. Sandra and Han Ying both walk off one after another. His manager pulls Xavier back, stopping him from chasing after them. There's no point going to Director Lee anyway. She's a heavyweight in this industry, don't cross her. Besides, it's not even her decision. If I don't get the lead, if they won't let me play the lead, this show won't get made properly either. I'll get the producers to pull their funding. Let's see how they shoot without the money. His manager hesitates before speaking. Lee Corporation invested in this show for the massive profits it'll bring. Recommending Xavier was just a side favor. Getting Lei Corporation to pull out entirely? The CEO might not agree to that. At the Lee estate, for 3 straight days, my transformation videos go viral across the internet, my follower count multiplying by the day. I set up a work studio on the first floor of the house. Every afternoon, Mia comes by right on time to film. After we finish shooting, Mia edits while I sit nearby scrolling through comments. Within days, everyone's curious about this person who keeps talking with me on camera. Someone asks in the comments if Mia's my girlfriend. I reply bluntly, no, she's my assistant, a lovely girl. My followers are close to 1 million now, and while I'm replying to comments, I also notice some negative ones. I let out a cold laugh, not bothering with them. But Mia sees them too while uploading videos, and she can't stand people attacking the man she admires. On impulse, she posts a bunch of cut behind-the-scenes footage and zoomed-in high-res clips of my makeup process. Neither of us expects that video to shoot straight to the trending list. It happens to be the weekend, and I sleep in until noon before Nathan's call wakes me up. Young Master Huo, on a weekend of all times, what do you want now? His flustered voice comes through the phone. Julian, you're trending, do you know that? Before he can finish, I hear his father's furious roar in the background. Nathan, where's my clay teapot? Nathan's call cuts off immediately. My heart starts pounding. How did I suddenly end up trending? I open Weibo. The internet has already blown up. Under the trending topic, all my earlier makeup videos have been reposted, filled with non-stop praise. I clutch my head, a headache setting in. I did want to grow my reach, but I never imagined it blowing up to trending this fast. But knowing Mia meant well, I press my lips together and decide, in the end, not to lift a finger to take it down. I get up, wash up, finish lunch, and get a message from Mia. Did I cause trouble for you? I'm busy studying the Book of Myriad Remedies, so I reply offhand, no. But compared to how calm I am about it, plenty of others are far more restless. Across the major short video platforms, my followers keep surging, and my inbox fills with invites to debut as a public figure, along with platform contract offers. Scrolling through, I spot a familiar name. Hello, Diligent Yuan, this is Director Sandra Lee. I saw your short videos on the trending list, and I'd love to invite you to audition for the male lead in my new show, River Moon. I let out a wry laugh and reply, not interested in a debut, but thanks for the offer. The internet keeps buzzing, and I stay perfectly at ease until the afternoon, when the online tide suddenly turns. A wave of people floods into the trending topic, stirring up the narrative. This Diligent Yuan guy is clearly manipulative, buying trending spots even. I check trending topics for actual news. We should be focused on things that matter to people, not letting some minor influencer buy their way to the top. His videos make me sick to watch. Those transformation clips are just a cheap trick for attention. I scroll through the comments, brow slightly furrowed. One or two people I wouldn't mind, but this crowd is clearly organized, looking exactly like paid marketing accounts. I wouldn't mind, but this crowd is clearly organized, looking like paid marketing accounts steering the narrative. Beyond the accusations that at least sound plausible, most of the comments are pure fabrication. Someone even claims to be my old high school classmate, exposing dirt on me. I scroll through my phone, eyes narrowing. This is clearly someone targeting me deliberately. But the list of people I've actually wronged is short, and among them, someone who could pull off this kind of coordinated troll attack, there's really only one person it could be, Xavier or he. I roll off the couch, just about to head to my room to investigate, when Vivian storms in from outside, fuming. Julian, when did you start a video account? You said the studio was for practicing your craft, so this is what you've been filming this whole time. I laugh guiltily. Sis, let me explain. As the heir to the Lee family, I've been under heavy protection since I was young. Aside from a handful of families close to us, almost no one in Qingcheng has ever actually seen my face in person, and there's nothing about me searchable online, let alone photos. I've never quite understood why Mom and my sister are so overprotective, but for my family's sake, I've kept a low profile all these years. I give Vivian a long explanation, throwing in some puppy dog eyes for good measure, but it only makes her angrier. I narrow my eyes, my gaze sharpening. Keep this up and I'm running away from home. Vivian's eyes widen. She chokes for a second, then pivots to cursing out the online trolls instead. Want me to have the trending topic taken down? No need, let them talk. If I'd taken it down earlier, that would have been fine, but now that a wave of paid trolls has piled in, taking it down now would just make me look guilty. Halfway through talking with Vivian, my phone rings. I glance at it, another unknown number. I pick up, and the voice on the other end is cold and clear. It's Diana. This time she gets straight to the point. Grandma wants to see you. The voice, cold and clear as Diana's, straight to the point. Grandma wants to see you. My hand, halfway to hanging up, stops. From our last meeting, I had a good impression of Grandma Lei. Even with my memory gone from the way she doted on me, I could tell she must have looked after me plenty over the past 2 years. I feel a kind of closeness toward that old woman, but Diana's tone suggests she thinks I'll come running whenever called. I narrow my eyes, thinking of the trending topic. If I go, it comes with a condition. Someone's bought trolls to smear me online. Find out who's behind it and I'll go see Grandma. Deal? The line goes silent for a few seconds, and when her voice returns, it's even colder. Fine, Nora will pick you up in half an hour. Who's Nora? I want to ask, but the call's already ended. I grit my teeth, ready to curse, when I turn and see Vivian eyeing me suspiciously. Who called? I don't plan to hide it. Diana. The moment Vivian hears the name, she's furious. You're going to see her? I think of the old woman I met last time, my voice softening. Not her, her grandmother. Even if Diana's a scumbag, her grandmother must have treated me well before, and if she wants to see me, I should go. Vivian looks troubled, but I don't think much of it. 20 minutes later, the unknown number sends a picture, a chat log showing a man named Muzi purchasing the troll army. Half an hour later, the housekeeper at the Lai estate gate calls, saying someone named Nora has come to pick me up. I get into Nora's car, heading toward the Lai family's old estate. She drives slowly, and I notice her glancing at me now and then through the rearview mirror. I quirk my lips. You're Diana's assistant? Yes? Nora's tone is respectful. As Diana's assistant, she's met me a few times before, and remembers me as always speaking gently, soft-spoken, playing the perfect gentleman in front of Diana. But now, though I dress the same way as before, lounging lazily in the back seat, with none of that old composure, there's still something that gives off a quiet sense of privilege and a faint air of pressure. I chat with Nora along the way, casually drawing out some details of the past, and the more I hear, the angrier I get. In Nora's telling, Diana sounds practically divine, as if the business world were a brutal chessboard, and she's the god pulling the strings from outside the game. This scumbag's reputation in the outside world is impressively high. At the Lei family's old estate, Grandma Lei sits in the living room, smiling as she pulls Diana over to look at a tablet, open to Diligent Yuan's account. Grandma Lei is full of praise. Our grandson-in-law is so handsome, and who knew he'd be this good at makeup too? Diana sits beside her, eyes cold as she watches the person on screen watching me, so full of energy in the video. Grandma Lei taps open the comments below. Weibo's negativity hasn't spread to this platform yet, so it's all praise. Grandma Lei beams with pride. Isn't our grandson-in-law adorable? Everyone's calling him handsome. A flicker of mockery crosses Diana's eyes. By the time I step into the living room, I can already hear Grandma Lei's laughter. Julian's here! I glance at Diana standing just behind her, and even dressed casually in loungewear, she can't hide that sharp, cool elegance. A flash of distaste crosses my face before I turn to Grandma Lei with a bright smile. Did you miss me, Grandma? Grandma Lei takes my hand with both of hers, pulling me down onto the couch. Of course I did. It's been so long since you visited. Did you forget all about me? The old woman's mock scolding amuses me. Hee hee, of course not. I think about you every day, and about coming to see you, but Diana wouldn't let me come. Diana takes the blame for nothing, her expression icing over. I'm certain she never dared tell Grandma about the divorce, so I keep piling it on. Grandma Lay grows angrier by the second, turning and waving her hand like she's about to swat someone. All you know how to do is bully Julian, such a good husband. If you drive him away with your bullying, I'll throw you out of this family myself. Diana's tone turns gentle in front of her grandmother. I understand, Grandma. She turns to look at me, and that usually sharp, cold face breaks into a sudden smile, like the world thawing all at once, ice melting into spring. Those dark eyes seem to swirl like a whirlpool, and for a second I'm caught off guard right before a chill runs down my spine, unsettling me. I sit and chat with Grandma Lay a while longer, when there's noise at the door. I look up to see Mrs. Lay walking in with Xavier He, the two of them apparently just back from shopping, servants trailing behind with bags. The moment Mrs. Lay sees me, her brow furrows instantly. What are you doing here? I glance over indifferently, saying nothing. Grandma Lay frowns beside me. What kind of question is that? This is Julian's home too, why wouldn't he be allowed here? Mrs. Lay opens her mouth, then closes it. Xavier He steps in and says something I can't quite catch, and the look on Mrs. Lay's face softens a little. You always know how to handle things. Xavier turns to greet me. Hi, Julian. I don't even spare him a glance out of the corner of my eye, turning instead to Grandma Lay. Grandma, who's this? Grandma Lay has no idea about the history between Diana and Xavier He. She just smiles. A friend of Diana's. I repeat the word meaningfully, smiling as I look at Xavier. A friend, huh? You're not exactly young. Do you have a girlfriend? Xavier's expression darkens, and he shoots Diana a pleading look. She frowns slightly. Julian, it's getting late. Let's head back. It was afternoon when we arrived, and now the sky has already darkened. Grandma Lay reluctantly walks me to the door, watching as we get into the car. As it pulls out of the estate, I sit in the back seat, wishing I could sit farther from this Lay woman. But the back seat only has so much room, and her presence fills the whole car with a suffocating pressure. We haven't gone far when another BMW catches up. Diana rolls down her window, and Xavier He gets out, standing outside the car, wearing an expression of exaggerated grievance. I narrow my eyes. Why'd you come out here? Xavier looks at me through the window. I need to talk something over with you, and since we're headed the same way, you wouldn't mind if we rode together, would you, Julian? Ha, I mind. You reek of fake sincerity. Xavier looks flustered, scrambling to explain from outside the window. Julian, do you have some kind of misunderstanding about me? I really do want to get along with you. After all, you're Diana's ex-husband. I glance up at him and drop a bombshell. Get along with me? You're not exactly qualified. You must have spent a lot on those trolls, huh? Xavier's face freezes. Julian, what are you talking about? What trolls? On the way here, I'd already traced Muzi's IP address. It was buried deep, but after digging through layer after layer, I confirmed the one who posted the job was one of Xavier's personal assistants. I laugh mockingly. If you don't want people to know, don't do it in the first place. After tracking the person down, I've already posted a full set of evidence to the trending topic. Xavier's face goes pale. He looks at Diana beside him. Diana steps out of the car, telling Nora to take Julian back to the Lee estate. I turn and see her leading Xavier off to the roadside, far enough away that I can't hear what they're saying, only that Xavier looks miserable. I let out a cold laugh. Drive. Online, a storm has already broken out, people pointing out that someone paid trolls to smear me. Since some people in Qingcheng had already seen me at Mrs. Lay's birthday banquet before, an insider quickly reveals the history between us, rising star Xavier. He is actually the homewrecker who broke up someone's marriage, and today's #1 trending figure, Diligent Yuan, turns out to be none other than Julian Lee, heir of the Lee family. The internet explodes. This is a massive scandal, and everyone despises homewreckers. No wonder Xavier He's career kept climbing. Turns out it was earned by wrecking someone's marriage. Director Lee really does have good judgment. No wonder she recast Xavier He recently. This might have been exactly why. Xavier's fans jump into the fray, defending their idol every way they can. This Diligent Yuan has no reputation at all. He's just using his power to bully someone. Lee Corporation's too powerful. This is capital crushing our guy. I head back to my room, take a shower, and when I check again, the trending topic has been mysteriously taken down. The once raging discussion cut off cold. I narrow my eyes, laughing coldly. Diana really does look out for that scumbag. I have no interest in wasting more time on that pair of trash. Maybe it's for the best it got taken down anyway. If Vivian saw I'd gotten mixed up in this, I'd never hear the end of it. Celebrity gossip keeps rolling in wave after wave online, but the homewrecker label sticks to Xavier He regardless. At Lay Corporation, Diana looks at the tablet in front of her, browsing a short video platform, currently watching an ad for one of Lay Corporation's own products, when she swipes down and lands on a live stream. Just as she's about to scroll past, she catches sight of the face on screen, and her finger freezes. I'm looking straight at the camera, as if looking right at her, smiling as I walk through some makeup tips. Diana frowns slightly, not tapping into the stream, just pausing on the preview. Suddenly a girl's voice comes through the clip. Julian, it's time to end the stream. I answer with a hum. Diana's eyes narrow, a chill radiating off her. That girl isn't Vivian. Without thinking, her hand taps into the live stream. Comments scroll across the screen. Julian, let us see the assistant. Her voice sounds great. I've been dying to see your assistant for ages, haha. Comment after comment demands the assistant show her face. I laugh from behind the camera, glancing at someone off to the side. Mia, do you mind being on camera? No response from the other side, just a young girl stepping into frame as comments keep scrolling. The moment Diana sees the girl's face, her expression turns cold. It's that hostess from the club. My ex-husband apparently keeps outdoing my expectations, hiring a club hostess as his assistant. Diana laughs coldly. Meanwhile, I watch Mia smile shyly at the camera. My assistant's a bit camera shy. Suddenly, a notification flies across the screen. Lei is gifted Diligent Yuan, a Starship Galaxy. I stare at that surname Lei, lost in thought. Diana wouldn't be this bored, coming here to send me gifts, would she? At Lei Corporation, Diana's brows knit tight, a chill flickering across her cold features. Seeing that hostess appear, she feels a strange urge to let me know that she saw exactly what happened between me and that hostess. Just then, a knock comes at the door, and Diana looks up to see Nora walk in with Xavier He. Nora looks helpless. Boss Lei, Mr. He would like to see you. Diana's tone stays flat. Understood, you may go. Once Nora leaves, Xavier's eyes rimmed red, and he steps forward. Diana, I just talked to Director Lee again, and the production is already locking in a new casting choice. Diana's expression stays cool. I know. Xavier steps closer, looking wronged. But everyone online is mocking me now, saying I wrecked your marriage, and that's why Director Lee recast the role. If I really lose this part, doesn't that just prove them right? Diana, can't you? Diana looks at his pitiful expression, and for the first time, feels a strange distance from him. When exactly did Xavier He change? She keeps her expression unreadable. I'll arrange other opportunities for you. This show is entirely in Director Lee's hands, and she's a professional. She believes you're not right for the lead role. Xavier grows anxious. But Director Lee said I was perfect for it. It's that Nan Chu, the author of River Moon, who's insisting on the recast, and Director Lee said she regretted it too, that she was forced to recast me as well. Xavier is confident Diana won't check with Sandra Lee directly. She's always trusted him. Diana frowns slightly. Lee Corporation takes its investment in this show seriously. She thinks it over for a moment. I'll handle this. Go back for now. Xavier's eyes flicker. Nan Chu is just some middle-aged man who wrote a martial arts novel with Lei Corporation applying pressure. The lead role in River Moon will come back to him for sure. Now that he's gotten what he needs, he quickly changes the subject. Diana, have you been busy lately? We've barely seen each other. This isn't heading in the right direction. Diana had clearly said before that once she divorced Julian, she'd start planning their wedding. But ever since Mrs. Lei's dinner party, there's been no word on it, and his heart is uneasy about it. Diana's gaze stays cool. Not particularly. Xavier grabs anxiously at her sleeve. Then why haven't you come to see me? Are you still upset about what I did with Julian? Diana, I only did it because I care about you too much. You know you're all I have. I'm so afraid of losing you, afraid you'll fall for someone else. As Xavier says this, he notices Diana's expression softening slightly, so he plays his trump card. Diana, you know I'd give up my life for you. A memory from years ago surfaces in her mind, and Diana's voice softens a little. I know that. Back then, Xavier, he was brave and fearless, pulling her back from the edge of death. But she's no fool either. On the night of the birthday banquet, I exposed a piece of who Xavier he really is, and ever since, it's been like a small tear in paper one that just keeps growing. When I asked her to help track down whoever was behind the trending troll attack, Nora traced it, step by step, all the way to Muzi, never expecting that man would turn out to be Xavier's own assistant. Diana realizes she may never have truly known the real Xavier he, just as he's never truly known me. With all of Nora's hacking skill, she made no further progress after tracking down Muzi, yet Julian managed to expose Muzi's real identity in such a short time. Why did he marry me under a false name all those years ago, hiding who he really was? Diana's brow tightens, her presence turning cold. Beside her, Xavier notices her drifting off, and his heart jumps. Diana? But it's only a moment's lapse. Her expression returns to normal at once. She calls Nora in. See him out. Xavier leaves, looking wronged. Diana sits in her office, pressing her fingers to her temples. No matter what, given their history, helping Xavier's career now feels like repaying an old debt. Find me a way to reach Nan Chu. Nora pauses, caught off guard. Nan Chu, the author of River Moon? Nora acknowledges and gets to work, though she doesn't expect the search to drag on for days. Nan Chu's information online is completely encrypted, and even after contacting the website's backend directly, all she gets is a phone number registered, oddly enough, in Xinjiang too. Back at the Lai estate, I've just finished the live stream, taking off my makeup while watching Mia beside me, diligently covering all the camera gear with dust guards. That's what the cleaning staff is for. Mia shakes her head. Better to be careful with professional equipment. To her, this gear is precious. Of course it's worth taking care of. I smile. Has my sister been giving you trouble lately? No, not really, don't worry, Julian. Ever since Vivian found out I make makeup videos at home, she's been a bit unhappy about it. But under my pressure, she hasn't dared say much. She just keeps a close eye on Mia, who comes by every day, watching her like a hawk. Any woman who gets close to me sets off Vivian's guard dog instincts. I figure Diana's betrayal must have left a deep scar on my sister. We're chatting when my phone rings. I glance at it, raising an eyebrow in surprise. My phone is one I modified myself, with a hidden second system beyond the main screen, holding multiple SIM slots inside, letting me switch numbers as needed. This particular call is coming through the SIM I use for my Nanshu identity, the one tied to that writing site. I pick up, flipping on the voice changer out of habit. Hello? A familiar voice comes through. Hello? Just those two words, and that same cold familiarity washes over me. I pull the phone away to check the display, wondering if my system's glitched. Why would Diana be calling Nanshu's number? I confirm nothing's wrong, narrow my eyes, and pretend not to recognize her voice. Who's this? This is Diana from Lei Corporation. You must be Mr. Nanshu? Yes, something I can help with, Ms. Lei. Do you have a moment? I'd like to talk with you about the casting for River Moon. I laugh coldly to myself, remembering the last time I had director Lee recast the lead. So Diana's calling to fight for Xavier He. My voice stays flat, made even more clipped by the voice changer. There's nothing to discuss. There's a pause on the line. I trust director Lee's professional judgment. She believes Xavier He is right for the lead. Mr. Nanshu, I imagine you'd want your work to shine at its best as well. I don't think he's suitable. I offer no further explanation. Her voice on the line turns cold. A financier has casting rights too. I hope you understand that, Mr. Nanshu. Then why bother calling me at all? Pull your funding if you've got the nerve. I hang up, and still a little irritated, toss the phone onto the desk. At Lei Corporation, Diana stares coldly at the deadline. She hadn't thought much of the call at first, still reviewing documents with her phone on speaker beside her, never expecting to run into someone this shameless. Nora stands nearby, looking like she wishes she could unhear the whole thing. In all these years, this is the first time she's seen someone hang up on Boss Lei. That line, pull your funding if you've got the nerve, was delivered with pure attitude. Nora steps forward carefully, watching Diana frown at her phone. Boss Lei, should I call back? No need. Should we pressure the director's side instead? Diana shakes her head, brow tight. She'd promised Xavier He she'd handle this, but pressuring Sandra Lee won't help. The real obstacle is Nanshu. As the financier, Diana knows the original author signed a commissioned production contract rather than selling the rights outright, which means he does hold genuine casting authority. Diana's expression darkens. Nanshu is based in Qingcheng. Keep digging. I want to meet him in person. That'll be far more effective. If that fails, I'll just buy the rights to River Moon outright at whatever price it takes. Nora's expression sours. What kind of tasks has Boss Lei been assigning her lately? She spent days digging into Nanshu and gotten nowhere near his real identity. Earlier, when she looked into Julian's hospital records, it was the same story. Nora, always flawless in her work, wonders if she's just been having bad luck lately. Diana narrows her eyes. During that call earlier, she caught the sound of music in the background, an instrumental piece that felt oddly familiar, the same one she'd heard while watching my livestream last time, a very niche, obscure track. My follower count has surged online lately, something Diana's well aware of, and apparently, this Nanshu is one of my followers too. By the time work ends, Diana returns to Senyuan Estate. She steps inside, and the housekeeper takes her coat. Diana heads to her bedroom and notices the scent in the room is different from usual. She frowns and calls for the housekeeper. Did you change the incense? No, ma'am, it's still agarwood. Diana used to get frequent headaches, and after using this calming agarwood incense, they gradually eased. The woodsy scent also helps her focus. She walks over to the incense burner, watching wisps of white smoke curl up from the bronze burner. She opens the burner to check inside. The housekeeper explains quietly beside her. In the past, Master Julian always prepared the incense himself, and while the raw material hasn't changed, someone else has clearly been handling it now. Diana's hand pauses briefly. You may go. The housekeeper steps out of the room. Diana looks at the incense still burning, then looks up, taking in her own bridal room for what feels like the first time. Even when Julian used to come home, he mostly stayed in the guest room. This room has been kept perfectly tidy, with barely a trace left that I ever spent time here. She steps into the walk-in closet nearby, vast and elegantly furnished, with only a few sparse pieces of clothing hanging inside. Her brow furrows. In the accessory drawer sits a single, lonely ring and a watch. The ring is our wedding band, placed carefully at the very center of the box. The watch was a gift from Grandma. Diana turns to the wardrobe nearby. In the half-open closet hang a few shirts she remembers me wearing often, but aside from those, there are only 2 pairs of pajamas left. Only now does she finally realize her attention had never truly been on me. Across their 2 years of marriage, most of the time she'd seen me were only when I had to return to the old family estate for something. Early summer, I'm lying in the bathtub, faint traces of fragrance drifting through the air, and it reminds me of the agarwood scent that always clings to Diana. The first time I smelled it, that faint, grounded woodsy note pulled a piece of my attention away. I can tell it's something I made myself. Thinking back over these past 2 years, I really must have cared for Diana more than I realized, probably trying to make sure I'd never want to go back to my old self. When my sister occasionally brings up the past, she always wears that look of exasperated disappointment. From bits and pieces, I've pieced together some of what happened, that I hid my identity and lived a modest, quiet life after marrying Diana. My sister once wanted to help support us, but, terrified of exposing my identity, I refused. And it wasn't just me who suffered for it, my sister likely took plenty of grief over it too. I finish my bath, dry my hair, and head back to my room. My bedroom connects to a small study, and the moment I step out, I hear music coming from inside my custom alert tone. I frown and head in. A red warning box flashes on the computer screen. Someone's trying to breach my encryption system. I sit down at the desk, fingers flying across the keyboard, and successfully break into their system. Every piece of my online identity is encrypted by my own hand, and this time the identity they're after is non-Chu's. I laugh, more furious than amused. Well, isn't this obvious? I can tell right away who's behind it, Diana. She hit a wall with non-Chu and still won't give up, trying to find out where I live now of all things. After counter-hacking her system, I trace the IP address Lay Corporation. I decide I'm going to give Diana a little wake-up call. I find a photo of her from an old interview online, edit it slightly, and post it right on Lay Corporation's official website. Once it's all done, I reinforce my own defenses further, then stroll out of the study, thoroughly pleased with myself. Once I'm in bed, I send Director Lee a message. Diana might keep digging for Xavier's sake. Even though she hasn't broken through this time, I know better than to underestimate Lay Corporation's resources. Diana's own personal skills are top tier too. I type out a message. Director Lee, I need to discuss something. What is it? Go ahead, Non-Chu. Let's switch financiers for River Moon. What? Do you have any idea how hard it is to find a financier? With your reputation, shouldn't backers be lining up to throw money at you? This is a major production. The budget is huge. Hardly any domestic company would take the risk. No problem. I'll be the financier. After a few seconds of silence, Sandra Lee sends back a question mark. I send back a confident smiley face. I've found you a financier, Lee Corporation. Switching financiers is a huge deal. Contracts are already signed, and there could be penalties involved. I tell Sandra that Lee Corporation will cover any losses and send over Vivian's WeChat contact directly before finally lying down to rest. Early the next morning, I'm yanked out of bed by my own sister. You gave my contact info to a financier? Yeah, I told him to have you invest. Early the next morning, Vivian yanks me out of bed. You gave my WeChat to a financier? Yeah, I told him to invest in my show, River Moon. I blink at her, all wounded innocence. Don't you want to invest in me, sis? Vivian, who knows perfectly well Non-Chu is me, snaps back. Can you follow proper procedure for once? Investments like this need to go through the investment team for review first, then get routed to the right executives, not just get thrown straight at my personal contact. I blink. I figured I'd just ask for a bank account number directly. Vivian glares at her own brother, her anger slowly fading. You should have just told me you needed investment, instead of going to that Sandra Lee and making her scramble for a financier. What a headache. I whined to my sister, mostly because she'd already brought in Lay Corporation, and Lay Corporation wanted Xavier He for the lead. I explained the whole situation. I'm worried Diana will keep bothering me over this. If she finds out Non-Chu is really me, she might come straight to our door. The moment she hears that, Vivian's face darkens instantly. She can forget about it. I'm investing in this show, whatever it costs, even if throwing money at it makes zero difference. That scumbag is never touching my brother again. Vivian storms off, righteous fury blazing, heading to the company to discuss investing in River Moon. Free at last, I grab my phone and call Nathan. Nathan, let's meet up for lunch. On the other end, Nathan sounds pathetic. I can't, my dad's grounded me for a month. Why? He cut off my card last time, so I sold that clay teapot he'd won at an auction in the capital. I remember that teapot was worth millions. He really did wreck it good. Gotta hand it to you, man. You never do things halfway. With Nathan grounded, I've got nothing else going on, so I pull out the book of myriad remedies and read for a while. By afternoon, I get up, grab my car keys, and head out. On the way back, I happen to pass by a top university, and with time on my hands, I figure out that Mia should be getting out of class soon, so I just drive over to the campus gate, planning to give her a ride back to the Lee estate. The campus is open to the public, and afternoon is prime time for dates and hangouts. Students with no class come and go steadily. I sit in the car, watching the occasional passerby glance over. This car of mine is understated compared to the rest back at the Lee estate, but parked outside a university gate, a car worth several million yuan draws plenty of attention. Must be some rich heir here to pick up some girl, someone mutters nearby. I don't bother rolling down the window, just smiling faintly to myself. My own time as a student was short. I finished all my university coursework in just a year. Watching these bright, youthful faces now, I feel a small pang of envy. I pull out my phone, about to message Mia, when a message from her comes through first. Julian, I have something to take care of today. Can I take the day off? Sure. I start the car, about to pull away, when a familiar figure catches my eye at the school gate. It's Mia, her thin frame, her proud, aloof bearing, and a bruise blooming purple at the corner of her mouth. My brow furrows instantly. So this is the something. I crack the window open a bit. Two guys trail behind Mia, looking worried. Mia, you should really go see the campus doctor. Ugh, you're too hot-headed, Bonnie says. That Lee family heir didn't even say anything about you. Why'd you get into a fight with her? Her sister is connected to some dangerous circles. She won't let this go. Mia's face turns grim, and she ignores them both. I catch on that something's off, and quietly get out of the car to follow Mia. Not far past the school gate, A few young men crouched behind some food stalls stand up and start closing in.